Good morning and good afternoon. Thank you for joining our Joint Crediting Mechanism seminar. I am a moderator of this seminar, Yohei Komura, from Global Environment Center Foundation, GEC. We are very happy to hold the JCM seminar today for our audience in Moldova in a hybrid format. We hope you will stay with us until the end, as we have guest speakers who will share the most up-to-date information about JCM, as well as relevant policies in Moldova and more. Before we start the seminar, I have a couple of announcements for Zoom participants. To listen to the simultaneous interpretation in Romanian and in English, please use the interpretation option located on the menu bar at the bottom on your Zoom screen. If you wish not to hear any interpretation, please select off. By selecting mute original audio when you use the interpreter channel, you can choose to only hear the interpreter's voice. We will be holding a Q&A session after each session in this seminar. Please submit your questions through the Q&A feature of Zoom, which can be found on the menu bar on the bottom of your Zoom screen. For each of your questions, please write it in English. And please remember to write the name of the speaker that your question is for, so we will who to bring back to the screen when we take up your question. Participants at the Marriott Hotel, please raise your hand to ask your questions during the Q&A sessions. Lastly, for Zoom participants, when you exit this seminar, a questionnaire about today's event will appear on your screen. Please take a moment to answer it. It would greatly help us improving our future seminars. Your feedback is very important to us. For participants at the Marriott Hotel, we will send a questionnaire about today's seminar by email. We would appreciate your feedback. Now, we move on to the opening remarks. First speaker is His Excellency Mr. Serge Lazarenko, Minister of Environment of Moldova.
Your Excellency, Mr. Yamada Yoichiro, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Japan to the Republic of Moldova, honored public, dear colleagues, representatives of the government of Japan, representatives of the government of Moldova, and other state institutions, but also the private sector. I have the honor to welcome you to the second seminar on promoting the implementation of the joint crediting mechanism, JCM, in the Republic of Moldova. This seminar has been organized jointly with the Ministry of Environment of Japan and the Ministry of Environment of the Republic of Moldova in order to inform the interested public in the Republic of Moldova and Japan in what areas and how can we implement the financial mechanisms of the Paris Agreement and the UN Convention on Climate Change. I would like to thank the Ambassador for his support and involvement in the development of the joint crediting mechanism in Moldova, as well as my colleagues from the Ministry of Environment in Japan and from the institutions subordinated to the ministry for their cooperation at all the levels. When we talk about modernizing schools, equipping medical institutions in the Republic of Moldova with new equipment, installing solar batteries to obtain hot water in public buildings, then we talk about Japan's support in the Republic of Moldova as well. The citizens of the Republic of Moldova have a special respect for the Japanese people. Everything made in Japan is associated with the highest quality. By implementing the joint crediting mechanism, we are strengthening bilateral cooperation in the field of environment and fighting the effects of climate change. But also we reach the targets assumed within the determined national contributions by reducing the greenhouse gas effect. The joint programs can be developed based on approved environment and energy policies. At the same time, I would like to mention the importance of developing the forestry sector to create a comfortable climate, to ensure clean air, carbon sequestration, noise mitigation, and improving the quality of water and soil. Under the aegis of the presidency, we have approved the National Forest Extension and Rehabilitation Program for the period 2023-2032, which aims to ensure 145,000 hectares. And we would like to increase the forest area from 11 to 15%. That is why we have a number of partnerships with the European Investment Bank, French Development Agency, World Bank, and we wish to develop projects through the JCM, which will contribute to implementing the national program for extension and rehabilitation of forests. Dear participants, the seminar today represents an excellent opportunity to build cooperation relationship with the partners from Japan with a view to developing JCM projects, facilitating transfer of technologies and the decarbonization latest decarbonization solutions. That's why the implementation of measures to attenuate mitigation will contribute to reducing greenhouse gas effects by supporting the Republic of Moldova in reaching its commitments taken through the national determined contribution. I would like to ensure you that you have our entire support from the Ministry of Environment in order to identify but also to promote JCM projects. The implementation of projects through this JCM mechanism will help us honor our commitments under the UN FCCC and protect the environment and will contribute to the protection of the environment, reducing greenhouse gas effects and ensuring favorable climate for the health and the well-being of the population. I kindly wish you good luck, and I bring sincere thanks to the Japanese party for their cooperation and their continued support. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Sergei Lazarenko, for your opening remarks. Next speaker is His Excellency, Mr. Yamada Yoichiro, Ambassador Extraordinary at Plenipotentiary in the Republic of Moldova.
Good morning. 皆さんおはようございます。Buona dimineața. It is a great pleasure to welcome Japanese and Moldovan participants to this seminar. Thank you, Minister Lazarenko, for gracing the event with your presence. Japan is an industrial country with very few natural resources. This has made our companies put enormous efforts into creating energy-efficient technologies for many decades. And our government has been encouraging such efforts. This situation has made Japan become one of the global leaders in energy-efficient, low-carbon technologies. The Joint Crediting Mechanism, or JCM, is a bilateral cooperative mechanism for the achievement of nationally defined contributions in accordance with the Paris Agreement. This mechanism facilitates the diffusion of advanced low-carbon and zero-emission technologies for the partner countries' sustainable development. In doing so, JCM offers attractive financial incentives to facilitate the installation of such technologies. Japan has worked on JCM for over 10 years. Currently, we are partnering with 29 countries, including the Republic of Moldova. Some 250 projects have been adopted in such areas as sunlight power generation, energy efficiency of buildings and factories, power generation from recovered heat and from burning wastes. Today's seminar is aimed at facilitating the understanding of JCM, how the mechanism works, and what advantages it brings to Moldovan companies, and what financial incentives are available to introduce such technologies. And by the way, if you have a difficulty in understanding what JCM is about, please simply remember it means Japan cooperates with Moldova, JCM. So, a number of key officials of the government and affiliated agencies have come to this seminar from Japan. I would like to thank them as well as Moldovan officials for organizing this important event. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Japan and the Republic of Moldova concluded a memorandum of cooperation concerning partnership in JCM in September 2022. Since then, so many things have happened in Moldova that it feels like 10 years, not 2. We have seen how Moldova has overcome the energy crisis caused by Russia's politically motivated deliberate reduction of the supply of natural gas to Moldova since the autumn of 2021. I would like to express once again our admiration to Moldova for standing up to this challenge and eventually achieving a large degree of freedom from dependency on Russia in just 2 years. This is a colossal achievement. Still, the need to improve energy efficiency remains one of the most pressing tasks for Moldova in the years ahead. The JCM seems just the right tool to contribute to this objective. The introduction of energy-efficient technologies will also present business opportunities for Japan as it partners with Moldova as a springboard for the reconstruction of Ukraine in the near future. Another important change since the first JCM seminar last November is that Moldova is now conducting negotiations to join the European Union. The reforms implemented by the Moldovan government are supported strongly by all EU member countries and development partners, including Japan. To conclude my remarks, I would like to emphasize that the government of Japan wishes to work with the Republic of Moldova at this important juncture. Yesterday, at the JCM Joint Committee, rules and guidelines were agreed between our two governments. With this, the JCM mechanism between Japan and Moldova is now ready to move into action. I hope that companies of our two countries will see the opportunities to work together after this seminar. I sincerely hope that our cooperation will contribute to green transition in energy, which is so urgently needed today. Let me finish by wishing you fruitful discussions today. Wish you all the best. Thank you for your attention. どうもありがとうございました。
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Yamada, for your opening remarks. Now, we would like to have a photo session at the meeting room. All speakers, please come to the front. Thank you. Now, let's move on to the next session, which will discuss updates JCM and relevant policies in Moldova. The speaker is Ms. Stella Druchok, collaborator of the Institute of Chemistry, USM CCAC consultant. Moldova's policy for decarbonization and expectations for the JCM. Ms. Stella, please.
Onorat public, bună ziua!
Public, good morning. We have the entire support at the highest level from Japan, represented by Mr. Ambassador, but also our colleagues and representatives from the governmental institutions from Japan, and also the support from the Ministry of Environment and the connected ministries in the Republic of Moldova. Thank you very much for your involvement, because this mechanism can be transposed only with your participation, your contribution, which needs to be hand in hand with the Japanese party.
In my presentation, I would like to inform you, but first of all, to thank you for your connection online and participation in person, and inform about about our readiness to implement JCM project in Moldova and about our decarbonization measures planned in our policies. Our country is very small. Sometimes it is hard to find on the map. Our surface, it is a little bit more than 34 square kilometers, and at this moment our population, it is a little bit more than 2.5 million. But we are a very friendly people, and we are very grateful for cooperation with you over the 8,000 geographical distance between our countries. Ministry of Environment, in cooperation with Ministry and all ministries from Republic of Moldova, are developing the legal base on climate change. Since 2018, we have already national system for monitoring and reporting of greenhouse gases. And this year, the Ministry of Infrastructure, Regional Development of Moldova and Ministry of Environment have developed regulation regarding the monitoring, reporting and verification of greenhouse gases and in maritime transport. Also, Ministry of Environment this year developed and approved by governmental decision regulation on monitoring, reporting and verification from stationary installation and aviation sector. Umbrella for legal umbrella of climate change, it is law on climate actions. And by the governmental decision, we have approved National Commission on Climate Change under the leadership of our Prime Minister. We are very grateful to be one of the GCM countries signing the memorandum between Moldova and Japan on GCM. And by decision of Minister of Environment, it was created joint committee from Moldova part. And yesterday we had the first meeting. Just to mention that Moldova, as a country candidate for EU, we are transposing EU legislation, and in law on climate action, it is transposed several directives, like directive establishing a scheme for greenhouse gas emission allowances trading within the community, regulation on the governance for the energy and climate action, regulation establishing the framework for achieving climate neutrality, and other EU regulations. Ministry of Environment has already planned to develop further legal base in cooperation with development partner. So we really need to fortify the state entities like Environment Agency, Inspectorate for Environmental Protection. We are working with all institutions to improve data collection for our monitoring, and we put really effort to develop capacity for Secretariat of GCM, and we would like to train institutions certified in ISO 14865 to have our verifiers company in Republic of Moldova. We have already planned how to improve our legislation for installation capacities, and we have planned in our policy measures, established measures for technology transfer, and also we are looking beside of GCM for ETS trading, also under the Article 6 of Paris Agreement. Regarding the reporting under the UNFCCC, here my colleagues from inventory group, we are very well at this procedure. National communication report second was submitted in 2010, and this in 2011 in 2022, it was submitted the 5th national communication. First, BOR, it was submitted to the Secretariat of UNFCCC 2016, and the last one, the third one, was submitted in 2021, and my colleagues and I, we participated at the technical review of this report. And this year, by the end of this year, colleagues from the inventory group, in cooperation with Environmental Agency and Ministry of Environment, are developing the first BDR, which contains national inventory report of GHG emissions, progress made in implementation and achieving NDC2, climate change aspects regarding adaptation, and financial technology. So from this report, we also have proposals from JCM. And I would like to mention the support received from Secretariat of UNFCCC and from the government of Japan. This is mutual learning program developed in last year for energy sector, and the mutual learning program enhanced transparency and reporting of mitigation actions in agriculture sector developed this year in common with colleagues from Japan. And we are very glad to have support of OECC and other colleagues in identification of JCM project in Moldova. And also I would like to mention, so since long years, we have a very good cooperation between Japan Water Association and State Hydrometeorological Service regarding the professional rising of our specialists, and their data, accuracy of their data will be very necessary for our JCM project in renewable energy technologies. And on this scheme, you can see our institutional arrangement for national inventory system, and this will be really improved with JCM aspect. Our inventory start with activity data collection, and we are working with all institutions for data collection. These data are done based on new data, are done the corrections and compilation for all sectors, and inventory, it is discussed publicly and approved by the Environmental Agency and Ministry of Environment and submitted to the UNFCCC Secretariat. By the Ministry of Environment in common with other institutions, central institutions from Moldova, with support of development partners, they are developed and adopted, approved several policy documents. For example, priority number 1, for example, it is National Forest and Rehabilitation Program for 10 years and its action plan. By governmental decision, it was approved the National Climate Change Adaptation Program, and the Low Emission Development Program has its action plan, including measures suitable for JCM project. At this moment, at the stage of national consultation, public consultation, it is integrated national energy and climate plan until 2030. And here we have colleagues who participated in development of this whole policy. The National Energy and Climate Plan has 5 dimensions, and in each dimension there are policy and measures, and total we have 93 policy and measures. And regarding the dimension decarbonization and energy efficiency, from these 2 dimensions are very clear stipulated the proposals from JCM project. Moldova has commitments under the NDC, and we assumed to reduce 70% with our national support and financing, and 88% to reduce GAG comparing to reference year 1990. But we have also commitments under the energy community to reduce 68% of emission of GAG emissions. These slides represent how will be evolution in Moldova CO2 emissions if we would implement policy and measures under the NSCP. If these measures will be implemented, by 2030 we will reduce emission by 9.1 megaton CO2. So decarbonization in Moldova is based on renewable sources. Renewable energy is one of the most important factors in the decarbonization. And Moldova committed with energy community to obtain in 2030 a share of 27% of its final energy composition from renewable energy. So according to the National Energy and Climate Current Plan in Moldova, it is planning to develop mostly 3 types of renewable energy sources, which includes wind installation, 600 megawatts, PV installation, 215 megawatts, and biogas. And here on this slide, you can have what we already have achieved. And my colleagues from this seminar can give more explanation and interest, and your interest will be very appreciated for each sector involvement in each sector. So regarding the basic policy for decarbonization, I would like to mention 3. This is also based of NSCP. Carbon border adjustment mechanism to be transposed, emission certification trading, including joint crediting mechanism, and low emission development program. All these policy are up to 2030. And basic measures, I would like to mention implementation of sustainable agricultural and land management practices, land afforestation, and promoting the use of renewable energy sources. So this year, the Ministry of Environment, it is in process to update NDC, and now we are, my colleagues are working on stock take of current NDC implementation to inform and recommend measures more ambitious for NDC 3. I would like to also to mention the support of UNEP Climate and Clean Air Coalition. In Moldova now I in process of development 3 project, and generally Climate and Clean Air Coalition support in one leadership in Climate and Clean Air Coalition. It is Government of Japan, and coalition support all countries, country part of UNEP CCC, in development of the National Action Plan for reduction of short-lived climate pollutants based on specific needs of countries, supporting with guidance and financial support, and also coalition support countries to elaborate roadmap action program. This is according to decision of COP28 to reduce non-CO2 emissions. And Yesterday, it was a historical day for Moldova because the Joint Crediting Mechanism Committee approved the guidelines and rules of JCM. Stimați participanți, în acest slide
Participants, on this slide, it is mentioned what is the cycle of the project. You can see that in point number 4. These are the forms, 15 forms of how we can develop a GCM project. But not all 15 are required for a project. The Japan party has foreseen all the situations, but we will make efforts in order for the project to go smoothly. That's why only some of the forms will have to be implemented. In the next meeting of the mixed committee will take place when we will receive from you proposals, project proposals, which we will have to examine. Those of you who are present here can develop your projects if you do cooperate and you work hand in hand with your colleagues from Japan, which are present in this room, but also some others who are connected online. Only jointly can we formulate, can we fill in the GCM project forms. Now here I would like to show you as a chart what is a GCM project. The first form that needs to be filled in is the project idea note. That's a short note that the mixed committee, joint committee established by ministerial order for Moldova, but also for Japan, they will receive this note from you. And then, if the project note is approved, they will also receive the project documentation afterwards and the methodology. And these 3 documents, the short information, project documentation, the methodology, the forms are approved already. You will fill in them together with the support of colleagues from Japan and the financing programs which the government of Japan implements within different institutions for different types of projects. The committee will approve these documents from both sides, and the next stage is the validation. Therefore, verifier, a company which will verify the documentation, and it is accredited in ISO 065. In Moldova, currently, we do not have such kind of companies with such accreditation, but we can ask companies from abroad to do this, to validate the documents received from you, which means that although your documentation will be cross-checked with the existing documents, and if the validation is successful, then the Moldovan committee as well as the Japanese committee will register the project, and we are ready to promote and to start the GCM project. In green here you can see this is the investment project where you have already changed the technology. You have already installed a new equipment, and when this is commissioned, when the investment project is commissioned, monitoring of the GCM project will start. And monitoring of emission reduction. The forms for this process are already approved, and they define exactly who is doing what and how this process is being done, and this has already been approved. And the monitoring reports of the emissions and of the emission reductions will be checked by third parties, by the verifier. It might be the same verifier who has conducted the validation procedure. And if the verification reports have been approved, then the committee approves and accepts the issuance of JCM credits. Through these credits, you can cover up to 50% of the investment that you have made. So JCM projects bring an added value to our sustainable development, decarbonization, and the development of your activities. This was my presentation. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you, Ms. Stella, for your presentation. All Zoom participants, if you have any questions, please submit your questions through the Q&A feature of Zoom. Now, we would like to invite next speaker, Mr. Kohei Kiname, Office of International Carbon Market, Global Environmental Bureau, Ministry of the Environment, Government of Japan. Recent developments of the joint crediting mechanism. Mr. Kiname, please.
Hello everyone, Bunya Teminacha. My name is Kohei Kiname from Ministry of Environment, Japan, and I'm with the Joint Crediting Mechanism Office of International Carbon Market, Global Environmental Bureau. And I'm really happy to be here in Moldova in this beautiful season. And I tasted, of course, wine during this stay. And it was really a nice experience for me. And also I'd like to express sincere gratitude to all the Moldovan people for all the cooperation and heartfelt welcome. And I'd like to talk about the basic information and the recent progress on the joint crediting mechanism. In our NDC, Japan aims to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions by 46% in 2030 from 2013. This was set as an ambitious target, which is aligned with the long-term goal of achieving net zero by 2050. As you can see this graph, our GHG emissions in 2022 was 1.08 billion tons CO2 equivalent. This was 22.9 decline compared to 2013 level, and we still need to reduce more. To achieve our NDC, we plan to use certain amount of the JCM credits complementarily. In our target, Japan aims to contribute to international emission reductions and removals at the level of a cumulative GHG emission reduction 100 million ton CO2 by fiscal year 2030 through public-private collaborations. I will explain about the basic concept of the JCM. The JCM is the bilateral cooperation between Japan and our JCM partner countries. JCM is a scheme where projects are implemented in partner countries to introduce leading decarbonizing technologies, infrastructure and services, and so on. A part of the emission reductions will become JCM credits and shared among Japan and the partner country and the entities involved in return for their contribution. This slide shows what benefits both governments or participants can get from the JCM. For the Japanese government, as I already explained, we use acquired credits to achieve our NDC. In addition, we enhance our country's presence through contribution to global decarbonization by JCM. For partner countries, JCM contributes to NDC as well. In addition, it helps diffusion of leading decarbonizing technologies and so on. And simultaneously, it also contributes to sustainable development, addressing social issues such as air pollution, or waste management. For entities, JCM helps them explore new business opportunities. Entities can appeal their decarbonizing activities, which might enhance corporate value and lead to new investment. If entities get credits by projects financed by themselves, they can utilize credits for emission offset or can sell other entities to get revenue. We believe there are 4 main features of the JCM. Firstly, JCM secure robust conservativeness by setting the level of emission reduction strictly, which will hopefully treat it as high-quality credits. Secondly, as JCM is implemented bilaterally, the rules and guidelines can be tailored to the needs of partner countries. And thirdly, we implement the JCM consistent with the guidance on cooperative approaches referred to in Article 6, Paragraph 2 of the Paris Agreement. So JCM credits can be ITMOS, which is internationally transferred mitigation outcomes, by authorization of participating parties. Lastly, the JCM also contributes to the sustainable development in partner countries. In other words, project participants need to recognize this point when formulating these projects. JCM credits acquired by companies can be utilized for the purpose of carbon offsetting. This is the case of in Japan. The domestic calculation, reporting, and publication system, or used for the achievement of companies' voluntary targets in the GX League, or used for carbon offsetting. This slide shows the basic scheme of the JCM. Project participants submit documents to joint committee, such as project idea note, PIN, or project design document, PDD. The JC, the joint committee, is the decision-making body of the JCM, comprised of both governments. Also, project participants need to have the validation or verification from third-party entities. On the right side, I'm showing the flow of the JCM project process, but Ms. Stella-san already explained a lot about the flow, so I will skip this part. JCM has several processes. This is the list of support about JCM from Japanese government. We have many kinds of support depending on the needs from different ministries. Ministry of Environment on the BAP, and Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, and also Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries. Later, other presenters will explain more details about, so I won't go for detail here. I'd like to talk about JCM progress here. So far, we have made the significant progress under the JCM. We have 29 JCM partner countries so far, and we plan to expand the number of the JCM partner countries up to 30 by 2025. For the project formulation, we have more than 250 projects supported by the government In our current project pipeline, our expected emission reductions are approximately 20 million tons CO2. Since we have 100 million tons CO2 target by 2030, we really need to develop more projects. To calculate GHG emission reductions, appropriate methodologies need to be developed. So far, we have approved more than 100 methodologies. As I mentioned in the previous slide, the JCM will be aligned with the guidance on Article 6.2, cooperative approaches. For Article 6 participating parties, we have to follow the guidance on Article 6.2, especially to avoid double counting. We recognize the importance of corresponding adjustment, authorization, reporting, and tracking, which are required under Article 6. Also, our ministry can provide the support through Article 6 Implementation Partnership, which was established at COP27. After implementation guidelines for Article 6 of the Paris Agreement were adopted at COP26 in 2021, the number of partner countries has continued to increase. Most recently, Ukraine became a partner country in 2024, as you can see below the graph. And here I'd like to talk about what kind of projects is eligible for the JCM projects. This slide shows the examples of the projects financed by JCM financing programs by Ministry of Environment Japan. We supported various types of projects such as renewable energy, energy efficiency, and waste, and transport sector. And more than 50% of total projects are coming from renewable energy sector. When you want to know more about the JCM, please take a look at the JCM website. The link is here, and you can type jcm.go.jp and you can find this website. And here you can find some information such as rules and guidelines, approved methodologies, and also registered projects, issuance of credits, and designated third-party entities of each country, and so on. Okay. This is all my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kiname, for your presentation. Once again, all Zoom participants, if you have any questions, please submit your questions through the Q&A feature of Zoom. Next speaker is Mr. Hiroyuki Mitsui, Deputy Director, Global Environmental Affairs Office, GX Policy Group, Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, Government of Japan. METIS Support Program for the JCM. Mr. Mitsui, please.
Hello, my name is Hiroyuki Mitsui. I'm in charge of joint crediting mechanism in the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, METI. And I will give a brief presentation of the support program that the METI is providing for JCM projects. Sorry, Mr. Kiname explained, Japanese government is providing several programs for supporting JCM projects, and the largest support program is the Ministry of the Environment's finance program for JCM model project, which target relatively mature and established technologies. In contrast, METI targets relatively advanced technologies, such as Japan has not previously introduced overseas and require technical demonstration. And METI supports feasibility studies for advanced technologies. And NEDO, New Energy and Industrial Technology Development Organization, an affiliated organization of the METI, conducts demonstration projects. And METI's projects, support projects provides 100% of the necessary costs of the project, and this is a key feature of our program. And the feasibility study is a one-year program in which project participants examine the feasibility of implementing the project and prepare a proposed methodology. And the METI provides support of around 15 million yen, around $100,000 per project. And after the feasibility study is completed, one of the outcomes is a demonstration program implemented by NEDO, and which provides support of up to $1 billion, $7 million per project. And NEDO's support program is divided into 3 stages. Firstly, conducting a pre-demonstration survey within 1 year. And then move to a 3-year demonstration stage of the project. And after that, project participants will monitor the issuance of credit over a 2-year period. And this slide shows the structure for NEDO to conduct the demonstration project. Before the demonstration, NEDO needs to conclude a memorandum of understanding with the government agency of Moldova and implement the project in cooperation with that agency. And in addition, under this program, Japanese demonstration operator and their local counterpart have to sign project agreement. And the conclusion of these 2 agreements is a condition for the start of the demonstration project. So if a project is under consideration and ready to move on demonstration, we would like to ask for the cooperation of the Moldovan government. And this slide summarizes the feasibility studies adopted by the METI in 2023 and the pre-demonstration surveys conducted by NEDO. And as you can see, the relationship between Japanese companies and the Asian region is very deep. So many JCM projects are being carried out in Asia region. But however, the project in Moldova is one we should deserve particular attention. I think SDG Impact Japan will explain later, but at present, the company is working with Zelnov, Moldova's largest ethanol producer, on a project to use distillation residue from ethanol production as biogas. And in these slides, there are only 4 projects worldwide that have progressed from feasibility studies to NEDO's pre-demonstration surveys. And Moldova project is one of them. And we hope that their cooperation will continue smoothly and they will be able to enter into demonstration stage as early as possible. And this slide shows the feasibility study project adopted by the METI this year. And we recently held a second call for applications and have added 7 more projects. And unfortunately, there are no applications for the Moldova project this year, but we are strongly hoping for our next project implemented in Moldova in near future. And this slide shows about the private sector JCM. Rather than implementing a project with funding from Japanese government, Japanese company could implement a project on its own initiative and funding in partnership with partner country. This is called private sector JCM, and the Japanese government is also promoting this type of JCM and has prepared a support program for them, such as guidelines. And this slide shows use of JCM, and I think Mr. Kiname already explained this, and I could skip this slide. And finally, I have written some advice or tips for companies that are thinking of starting up a JCM project and participating in it. At first, I think I don't need to say this, but partnership between Japanese companies and Moldovan companies is necessary. And I think it would become easier to get support from Japanese government for projects that use Japanese technology. And also, I think information about what kind of projects the Moldovan government is looking for is very important. So I hope that the Moldovan government will kindly provide this kind of information. So this is my presentation, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Mitsui, for your presentation. Next speaker is Mr. Hiroshi Takahashi, Senior Managing Director, Financing Program Group, Tokyo Office, Global Environment Center Foundation. Financing Program for JCM Model Projects and JCM Global Match. Mr. Takahashi, please.
Thank you for your kind introduction. Good morning, everyone. My name is Hiroshi Takahashi of Global Environmental Center Foundation, or GEC. GEC is an implementing organization of financing program for JCM model project. I appreciate this great opportunity to be here and happy to introduce JCM project. This is the agenda of my presentation today. JCM started in 2013. Since then, JCM project have been selected every year, and total number of the project reached 245 all around the world. Many countries signed bilateral cooperation for this partnership between Japan, and the number of partner countries increases. In 2022, Moldova and other 7 countries joined, and 4 last year. So now JCM has 29 partner countries. There is a basic concept of the JCM. The first one is the purpose. The purpose of this scheme is to facilitate the fusion of leading decarbonizing technologies and infrastructure through investment from Japan. And number 2, contribute to the achievement of both countries' NDCs. And number 3, implement the JCM consistent with the guideline of cooperative approaches referred to in Article 6 of Paris Agreement. This figure shows the scheme of the JCM model project, which is the most popular JCM financing program. A selected project receives financial support from Government of Japan for the facilities or equipment with advanced decarbonizing technology. The point of this scheme is to utilize subsidy to reduce initial cost for excellent equipment. So using this scheme, they can introduce eco-friendly system with cost competitive. This is the timeline of the model project for this fiscal year. In Japanese fiscal year starting April. And this year we opened the call for proposal on 5th of April and will close in November. We are receiving proposals and assessing for the selection based on criteria and reflecting partner countries' opinion. Selected process will go through the administrative process for finalizing contract finance. Then they can start their project. After finishing installation, subsidy will be disbursed for their contribution for the reduction of greenhouse gas. This shows the development steps of the JCM model project. When developing a project, partner participants need to find a Japanese partner to be a representative participant. I will touch upon the scheme about this later. And GC assess and evaluate each proposal and select candidate project with Ministry of Environment Japan. For the candidate project, PIN or project idea note will be shared with partner countries and to get opinion whether it deserves to be JCM project. And selected project will go through the following process I explained in the previous slide. Okay, JCM support any kind of greenhouse gas reduction, but JCM model project required to reduce the energy-related carbon dioxide, and this. Sorry, I skipped that. So, what kind of the project are supported by JCM model project? First one I explained already, and then B, project contribute to realization of sustainable development goals. And number 3.3, reduction of greenhouse gas emission must be measured and quantitatively calculated and verified for issuing JCM credit. They are described in guidelines for submitting proposals, and please refer it in detail. And this slide shows the scheme of reduce of energy-related carbon dioxide, and I don't have much time to explain and skip this. And if I have time, I'll explain it later. So this is a criterion of cost effectiveness, and that is financial support versus amount of greenhouse gas emission reduction. This value is set to less than 4,000 yen, about $30 US, and this may act as a ceiling of the budget. Certain technology in some countries have a lot of proposals already, and so we limit this index according to the number of selection and specific technologies in a country. The budget is limited, so we need to dispatch subsidy effectively for as many excellent projects as possible. The model project should contribute to the sustainable development for the partner country. We receive projects as they contribute to sustainable development goals, and we review it in that aspect. JCM model project reduce greenhouse gas emission, so basically work and good for SDGs. This is an example as a possible contribution of renewable energy project to SDGs for your reference. For the model project, relationship between Japan and partner country is important, so forming international consortium is essential. This figure shows a typical form of international consortium. A representative participant is a Japanese entity, and partner participant is partner country's entity. Representative participant is responsible for the project totally, and partner participant introduces and owns the system, and the system need to be properly operated and maintained for GHG emission reduction. This is a table of applied technologies by each partner country. Based on this, the number on this table, maximum financial support is defined. If proposed technology is the first one, the maximum financial support is up to 50% of total cost of a project. We do not limit the technology, so you are able to see a lot of kind of technology on this table. But the percentage of support goes down to 40%, 30%, or 20% by the number of already applied technologies. This is because early stage of introduction has greater impact in terms of diffusion of technology. The goal of JCM is to issue JCM credit. For the credit, first thing to do after implementing equipment is this action of MRV, or measurement, reporting, and verification based on developed methodology. This shows the procedures for MRV, and we, GEC, also support this process. The project trend. This is the result of the selection for last year of 2023. 22 projects were selected and publicly announced. There are solar power project, waste heat recovery, storage battery power, battery power system, and mini hydropower, and so on. So I will explain some of them later. The chart shows the accumulated number of the project by sector of energy saving, that's the blue one, and the renewable energy, the orange one, and others. As a recent trend, number of renewable energy projects has been increasing. From here, I will show you some characteristic model project. This project is for glass factory. Flat glass production process consumes a large amount of heat. To improve this energy efficiency means great reduction of fuel. In this project, they renovate furnace structures and change combustion method. These are proven know-how of factory in Japan that can expect to save energy consumption and greenhouse gas emission drastically. The project reduces energy consumption and emission by CO2 by installing this high-efficiency one-through boiler in the factory. One-through boiler is very popular already in Japan and very efficient, and I also would like to implement this kind of system also in your country, in Moldova. So running out of time, so I need to skip some project, but this is a waste heat recovery for cement factory. It's also good and applicable to your country. And also the rooftop, this is the combination in the facility or factory of the chiller and solar power systems. And also, this is the solar power system to improve efficiency. These days, they also install battery as a total system. And the mini hydro power system are also good for as a renewable energy. And also, this is the project of a biomass power plant. If there is some problem about the residue that is left and might emit the methane, it can be a good solution. And also, we have a waste to energy project as a JCM project. And from here, let me give you a brief introduction of our business matching site called JCM Global Match to explain what you can do. So companies in partner country don't always have good connection to the business cooperating with the Japanese company. So it is quite useful if there is a system to help find Japanese companies which can provide leading edge technologies or superior decarbon technologies. So JCM Global site will be a good help as a tool and an initial step to support your project development for the JCM. So the first thing you need to do is to just register it very easy. And what you can do is to, number one, to find your potential business partner in by this platform. And number two, advertise. You are able to advertise your business in the site. And also, number three, discussion. If you have interest in some specific topic, you are able to talk about it through this platform. And this is the access information. To access the JCM Global Match, just search this URL or QR code. So we are waiting for your registration. This is a free service. So as a way, we support entities to apply for JCM model project and ready for consultation. We welcome your proposal. So conclusion of my presentation, in many areas, technology of the JCM project can be applied, and partner countries have a lot of opportunity to make use of these technologies to accelerate emission reduction of GC in Moldova. Okay, I'm happy if my presentation helps you better understanding of the JCM model project. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Takahashi, for your presentation. Thank you for all the speakers for your presentations. Now we are moving on to the first Q&A session. Mr. Takahashi from GEC will moderate this Q&A session. Mr. Takahashi, please.
Okay, now the floor is open for discussion. Participants in this room of Marriott Hotel, if you have any question or comment, please raise your hand. And when you ask a question, please first say your name and organization and who your question is for. Okay, please.
Hello, my name is Aurelia Chorney. I'm here on behalf of the Ministry of Infrastructure and Regional Development. And before I ask my question, let me express my respect and admiration for Japan as a country and for the institutions which represent here the Japan for the work done throughout all these years in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. So my question goes to Mr. Kiname from the Ministry of Environment. But first I'll make a note. So you are far ahead of us in all these aspects. So don't be surprised if my question seems too simple to you. Can you please tell us more about carbon certificates? Who gets them, the companies or the country, and what do you do them? Tell us more about carbon certificates in the context of this Japan acquiring credits and stuff like that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mulțumesc foarte mult pentru această întrebare. Dacă am înțeles eu corect, întrebarea dumneavoastră este
Certification of JCM credits.
creditele și cum facem certificare. Care sunt certificatele de carbon? Operați cu certificate de carbon sau credite de carbon? Cum le certificați? O să vorbesc despre creditele JCM și creditele JCM după
and the JC will decide how much the JCM credits will be produced, and then both governments issue JCM credits on each registry. So the certification will be made by a joint committee. And also, the JCM credits can become ITOMOS, internationally transferred mitigation outcomes. In that case, JCM credits has to be authorized by participating parties. And how to authorize is depending on the countries. So we need to discuss more details with your government and between our government and your government. Is it helped? Or, sorry, could you more explain about more details? Sorry.
I was particularly interested in, I heard, but you know, I'm not among the advanced ones in this area. I heard about carbon certificates that some companies acquire, and after that they do something with that. So probably that's the certificates. I'm asking you because you are coming from carbon trading office, so, you know. Okay.
Thank you. So you want to ask about credits other than JCM credits, or only on carbon certificates? Okay. Okay. In our country, all entities has to reduce their emissions. And also they have to report their emission. So JCM credits can be used to affirm their affirm the reduction of their emission by using the JCM credits.
We can continue the break.
Okay, so okay, we can discuss later again. Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kiname. So does anyone has any question? All right, so I'd like to ask Ms. Stella, in Moldova, the carbon, I think that you have a plan to improve the wind power, and I'd like to know about the plan specifically you have, or also would like to know this place is suitable for wind power generation. That could be a clue for the company in Japan to have a project in your country in the view of the wind power generation system?
Thank you for question. Here we have colleagues from Ministry of Energy and also from Technical University. Within the Technical University, they developed atlas, like a digital register of location in Moldova with very high speed of wind. So such kind of information regarding the location and where are possible to be installed wind turbines in Moldova we have. So by governmental decision, it is approved installment for all kind of renewables up to 2025. So, and also in NACP, we have measures for wind installations, several measures. And my colleague from Ministry, I invite my colleague from Ministry of Energy to give more specific information. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Svetoslav Postoronka. Very interesting question for us and very up-to-date issues, which is in processing of Ministry of Energy. I'd like to say that in last years, generation from renewables increased very much, about 3 or 4 folds, comparing with the years of 2021, 2022. Now we have announced a tender to participate for the producers, big producers eligible for generation electricity from wind and solar photovoltaic. And for, as I know, documents will be will begin to receive documents and applicants of producers, big producers of wind power, and the quote, the share will be, if I'm not mistaken, 105 megawatts of power. So the hope is very much for Moldova to develop this sector of wind power generation, and we hope we'll get until 2030, as we mentioned in the national plan, integrated plan for energy and climate, to get 30% of electricity generated from renewables in the quantity of 27 total renewable generation in energy mix of the country by 2030. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Stella-san and Ministry of Energy from the comment. It's a very informative comment, and I understand that your country has great potential about renewable energy of wind power and also photovoltaic systems. So it could help Japanese companies to do business in your company. Thank you very much. Okay, the time is behind, and so we are able to discuss about this, or you have a question later at the outside of the hall with coffee and snacks. And so let's close this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you for all the questions. Now let us start session 3, case examples of the JCM implementation. First presenter is Mr. Nagayuki Kurita, Managing Partner, SDG Impact Japan Incorporated. methane fermentation system JCM project for utilization of waste to energy at ethanol brewery plant in Moldova. NEDO JCM pre-demonstration survey selected in 2024. Mr. Kurita, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nagayuki Kurita, managing partner of SDG Impact Japan. First of all, I'd like to thank the governments of both Moldova and Japan for this opportunity to make this presentation. I'm great honor it's great honor for me. And I also would like to congratulate the governments of both countries on successfully completion of the first joint committee yesterday. Today, I would like to introduce our current JCM activities in Moldova, waste-to-energy project in ethanol plant. This is our company's outlines. We have two main business pillars. The first one is sustainable fund, and second one is sustainability business incubation. So decarbonization project and also infrastructure development for emerging countries. And company established in 2021. However, I personally have more than 25 years experience with climate change and carbon trading. We are now conducting several JCM projects, including in Indonesia, supported by JEC, and Moldova, supported by NEDO and METI. And this slide shows the introduction of NEDO. NEDO is a governmental organization which acts as an innovation accelerator and actively contributes to stable energy supply. NEDO also conducts a JCM demonstration project to promote Japanese advanced low carbon technologies and systems and to contribute GHG emission reduction. The bottom diagram shows project flow of demonstration project. So this project flow already explained by Mr. Mitsui. The project flow consists of mainly three phases. We conducted feasibility study last year, supported by METI, and also now we are here, pre-demonstration survey. This is first phase of demonstration project. And actual implementation of demonstration project is second phase. This is subject to further review and approved by NEDO after pre-demonstration survey result. So if our survey result is good and also for enough, we can move to actual demonstration project. So support from partner countries are really crucial to move for next step. And this is a diagram of implementation structure of demonstration project. Left-hand side is Japanese participants, including Japanese government and also Japanese companies. And right-hand side is Moldovan side. Ministry of Moldovan government and also Zelnov is our main partner in Moldova. And also, Mr. Mitz mentioned that NEDO and the Moldovan government needed to conclude MOU before starting the actual demonstration project. Also, Japanese and Moldovan private companies have to sign a project agreement, which defines each role and responsibility for the demonstration project. And also, in Japanese side, we have manufacturer and supplier of all equipment, including biogas system and also biogas boiler. And this slide shows the Zelnov, overview of Zelnov company. As you know, Zelnov is the largest ethanol producer in Moldova. Now they treat 900 tons of ethanol waste per day to produce the ethanol in their central factory in Chisinau. In the demonstration project, we plan to install a biogas system which can treat 250 tons per day of ethanol waste. So the bottom right is you can see the layout of our future demonstration project. And this is a demonstration project overview. And you can see the diagram. This is a process flow of their current treatment process in their factory. So currently, Zelnov produce DDGS, a livestock feed, by using ethanol waste. However, they are using a lot of natural gas to dry ethanol waste to DDGS. So now they would like to change this process enclosed in red dashed line to biogas power plant enclosed by a yellow dashed line. And they will produce the biogas and produce steam to cover their steam consumption in their factory. And if we will realize demonstration project, the steam will cover biogas. The steam which is generated by biogas will cover 13% of their current steam consumption in their factory. And these are the technical challenges in demonstration project. The first one is we need to keep the temperature in the fermentation tank because the temperature of ethanol residues is around 80 degrees. We have to keep around 40 degrees Celsius to optimize fermentation process, even in summer and winter time in Moldova. And also we also try to use the different kinds of the materials at the same time and try to control stable biogas production. So we will put the different residues and materials in the fermentation tank and try to generate the biogas. And third one is create highly efficient system that realize efficient maintenance and inspection. And also Japanese biogas boiler can be optimized for biogas composition in Moldova. And this slide shows the future expectation of GHG emission reduction. So if we realize demonstration project, 215 ton per day treatment scale, we expect to get a CO2 emission reduction around 7,000 ton. It means we can create 7,000 ton of JCM credit per year. And if we expand the similar type of project in the factory, 900 ton of waste treatment, we can create around 30,000 ton of GSM credit. This is a good impact for both countries. And this is diffusion. This slide shows diffusion image in the future. So there are a lot of biogas sources in Moldova because the main industry in Moldova is agriculture. And also, according to German Energy Agency, biomass has 0.9 gigawatt potential by 2013 in Moldova, more than 100 times compared to current capacity. And also, according to OECD statistics, general waste in Moldova also grows in the future. You can see this graph. And also, this slide shows a pre-demonstration survey. We plan to visit 3 times on-site inspection during fiscal year 2024. And the main task is to support MOU preparation and also project agreement preparation, and also basic design and identification of required license and permits for project implementation. And also we need to check the custom and also duties and taxes, because we will transport many equipment from Japan and maybe Western European countries. And also we need to confirm each role and responsibility between Japanese and the Moldovan side. So we hope this project is first actual JCM project between Japan and Moldova, and will become a good reference for future JCM projects in Moldova. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Kurita, for your presentation. Next presenter is Ms. Saori Iwasaki, Section Chief, International Projects Department, Yuko Keiso Company Limited. Installation of energy-saving equipment and solar power system to complex building in Jakarta, Indonesia. JCM model project selected in 2022. Ms. Iwasaki, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me today. My name is Saori Iwasaki from Yuko Keiso. Today, I would like to talk about our experience in the JCM model project in Indonesia. This presentation will be divided into 3 sections: company profile, introduction of our project in Indonesia, and our achievements and key to the success of JCM model projects. I would like to start with a brief introduction about our company. Yuko Keiso was founded in Tokyo in 1963. Since its foundation, we have been mainly engaged in designing, installation, and maintenance of building automation systems related to air conditioning, electricity, and security. We also have been involved in providing energy-efficient solutions to clients in Japan and other Asian countries. With our expertise and technologies, we provide consulting services for JCM model projects. As a representative participant, we have participated in 8 projects in Vietnam, Laos, and Indonesia. Now, let's move on to the introduction of our project. First, I would like to introduce the overview. Our project is installation of energy-saving equipment and solar power system to complex building in Jakarta. We, Yuko Keiso and PT Senayan Tollikaria Sumpana, STS in Indonesia, formed an international consortium to carry out this project. STS is an affiliated company of Kajima Corporation, a leading construction company in Japan. Through this project, high-efficiency chillers, high-efficiency air conditioners, and solar power system were installed. The installation work was carried out from February to December 2023. Then, according to the Japanese legal durable years, we will monitor the chillers and air conditioners for 15 years and the solar power system for 17 years. Next, I would like to introduce the project site. This is the project site, the Senayan Square Complex. It has been developed and operated by STS. The Senayan Square Complex consists of 2 shopping centers, 3 office buildings, 4 apartments, and 1 hotel. Here is an overview of the installed equipment and expected GHG emission reductions. 4 chillers were installed in the shopping center and the office building. Air conditioners were installed in 2 shopping centers, and solar power system was installed on the roof of one of the Senayan Square's buildings. The total GHG emission reductions of the 3 types of equipment are expected 1,493 tons per year. These are before and after pictures of the installation. While the changes might not be obvious in the images, the chillers have been replaced with high-efficiency models. The previous air conditioners were single-split types, with each indoor unit connected to its own outdoor unit. In this project, we replaced multi-split types with 1 outdoor unit connecting multiple indoor units, reducing the overall number of outdoor units. Solar power system was installed on the roof, which was formerly used as a rooftop parking lot. I'd like to discuss 2 features of this project. The first feature is the integration of energy efficiency with renewable energy. While each piece of equipment contributes individually to reducing GHG emissions, combining them can lead to even greater reductions. We believe that this project will be a good model for JCM model projects, particularly in shopping centers and office buildings. The second feature is selecting and introducing equipment with optimum specifications. In introducing high-efficiency equipment, it's not always the best approach to select the top-of-the-line model. The type and capacity of equipment should be determined based on historical operating data and other factors. The chairs at the shopping center were reduced in capacity from 900 RT to 720 RT, while the office building chair retained its capacity but was upgraded to the inverter type. Additionally, the non-inverter single-split air conditioning system was replaced with an inverter multi-split system expected to further reduce GHG emissions. We now move on to the last section. Here are achievements and what is important to make it a successful JCM model project. We have two achievements. Firstly, the JCM model project subsidy allowed us to implement this large-scale renewal. The partner participant, STS, has previously introduced energy-saving equipment with a quick return on investment, such as LED lights and inverters for ventilation fans. Although this large-scale renewal required a significant investment, the over 20% subsidy made this possible. Secondly, this project contributes to sustainable urban development in Indonesia. While construction can greatly affect the environment, introducing advanced equipment and maintaining them through the JCM model projects will reduce the need for frequent construction. The project site, Senayan Square, is one of the landmarks of Jakarta. As a long-life model project for urban development, it aims to reduce environmental impact throughout its life cycle and is expected to influence other cities and buildings across Indonesia. Finally, I would like to discuss the key to the success of JCM model projects. We believe that the most important point is the close and constant communication between the representative participants and partner participants. Since JCM model projects have fixed timelines, smooth implementation is essential. Therefore, it's important to have close communication and develop detailed plans among the consortium members. It's also important to share information on even minor issues and to manage risks together. JCM model projects require not only installing equipment, but also long-term monitoring to track GHG emission reductions. To make the projects successful, it's crucial to establish sustainable monitoring systems and to cooperate continuously with each other. This is all for my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Iwasaki, for your presentation. Next presenter is Mr. Daisuke Takami, General Manager, Urban Environmental and Power Infrastructure Department, Itochu Corporation, Biogas Power Generation and Fuel Conversion Project in Pineapple Canneries in the Philippines, JCM Model Project, selected in 2019. Mr. Takami, please.
Hi, everybody. I'm Daisuke Takami. I appreciate these opportunities and honor to make a presentation of Itochu's one of the epoch-making project which got the support from JCM today. So, but before going to the details explanation about our project, let me briefly explain the Itochu Corporation. Itochu was established approximately 150 years ago, and it has grown to the one of the Japanese largest conglomerate companies. And we have approximately 87 offices globally. And I would say that Itochu's global group policy has been historically, we call the Sampo Yoshi in Japanese, which means that good for the seller and good for the buyers and also the good for the society. So this is a very similar concept of the today's SDGs. So in the natural course of the history, so Itochu's committing to the achievement of the SDG. So the project I'm going to explain is also the one of the project contributing to the achievement of the SDGs goal. And the within Itochu Corporation, we have 8 business companies or segment, and I personally belongs to the this machinery companies, and the looks responsible for the infrastructure related business. But we also have another department which deal with the food related business, and under this department, Itochu owns and operate Dole Asia, and we have pineapple canning factories in Philippines. And actually they are facing kind of the challenges of the disposal of the 100,000 of the residues from the process of the canning of the pineapples. So this project was actually created by this kind of the solving these problems. So now I'd like to explain the JCM model project. So actually Itochu established project companies together with our partner, Met Power, which is the Metro Pacific companies, like one of the conglomerate companies in Philippines. And the project company's name is Silala Biogas Venture Corporation. And this project received residues of pineapples from the Dole Asia. And in exchange of receiving these residues, the project produced biogas and generate power and also the steam to utilize for the factories in this pineapples canning factories. And this project, depending on the production amount, but contributing to the approximately 50,000 reduction of the 50,000 greenhouse gas CO2 annually. So eventually we got support of JCM. In other words, so we got the kind of the financing support to finance approximately 50% of the capex, which contribute to the equipment reducing the CO2 emission. And I would say that this project not only contributing to the reduction of the CO2, but also contribute to the improvement of the food loss issues and the also the environmental issues, because the such as the odor was one of the issues created by the waste. And this is the project side of the project. So actually this project consists of 2 biogas plants in General Santos, Silala and Promorok, which are both located in southern part of the Mindanao Island. As you can see, both biogas plants built nearby the canning factories, and they are connected with a pipeline. And the next slide explain the process of this project. So as I explained, as a feedstock, the project received the residues of pineapples from dough. And these waste are put into the grinder mill to be small pieces. And after that, they are delivered to the methane fermentation tanks, producing the biogas. And the biogas is delivered to the gas engine to produce the powers. And the design capacity is approximately 5 megawatt. And the biogas is also delivered to the boiler to create heat and steam. And the both powers and heat and steams are used in the pineapples canning factories. And the in addition to biogas, actually there's a kind of the organic residues coming out from the methane fermentation tank, and they're used as a compost material or fertilizers. Yep. And as explained, design capacity, they are contributing to the reduction of 54,000 CO2 reduction annually. And this is the third largest JCM project for the Philippines. And this is just a picture of the one of the projects. So this two big dome is a methane fermentation tank. And the both project has been operational from 2022. So after the commercial operation, we monitor the reduction of the CO2. And the next slide is also the project pictures for the project in Poramorok. And lastly, I'd like to say that both projects definitely contributing to the realization of the circular economy or achievement of SDGs, but sometimes realizing such a project face the financing and the economic return. So in that sense, it is JCM utilization of JCM really help to materialize this project. Yeah, that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Takami, for your presentation. Next presenter is Mr. Wataru Toze, researcher, Overseas Environmental Cooperation Center, OECC. Key points for JCM project development. Mr. Toze, please.
Okay. Thank you for introducing Mr. Komura. My name is Wataru Toze from Overseas Environmental Cooperation Center. I'm glad to be here I'm glad to come back here following last year's seminar. My organization facilitates the JCM in Asia and the Caucasus area, including Moldova, under Ministry of the Environment, Japan. Today, I would like to introduce mainly 3 points regarding processes and key points for forming JCM projects. In this slide, I am going to explain processes to form JCM project. As a first step, we identify local needs, potential, and issues from JCM project while having meeting with local partners in partner countries based on existing connections and newly obtained connection by site visiting. We regard this seminar as an important opportunity to find project seeds to form JCM projects. If we could have any project seeds to form JCM projects, we conduct study or research to propose a business model with local partners and Japanese partners, including introducing technologies to form environmental businesses. And as a third step, we discuss concrete topics to form a JCM project, such as confirming necessary documents, such as licenses and permissions with project participants. And as a last step, project participants apply for the JCM project. If project participants request, we also support preparation of application form to apply for the JCM. We also disseminate information related to carbon markets, including the JCM, latest trends of Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, and good practices of the JCM. And this slide shows project cycle of the JCM project. You can see validation and verification phase in this slide. In these phases, third-party entities examine GHG emission reductions by the JCM project. OECC supports to select third-party entities for validation and verification phase of the JCM project. In this chapter, I would like to introduce good practices of the JCM. So far, OECC has supported to form 28 JCM projects. From next slide, I would like to introduce good practices of the JCM that we supported to form. As a first case, I would like to introduce farming and solar power generation project. This is 12.7 megawatt farming type solar power generation project at Monaran farm in Mongolia, the first JCM partner country. At the beginning of formation of this JCM project, a Japanese company was exploring the possibility of solar sharing in Mongolia through a survey by JICA, and OECC approached the company about the possibility of using the JCM. After they accepted to utilize the JCM, for their project, OECC supported financial arrangement by obtaining project finance from the Japan Bank for International Cooperation, JBIC, and supported to develop their methodology for this project. This project have been achieving double income from farming and electric power selling, and made a significant contribution to improving the living standard of local people by creating employment in this area. And including this project, 76 megawatt of solar PV was installed by contribution of the JCM in Mongolia. As a second case, I am going to introduce a case of transferring and replicating low carbon technologies in Vietnam. This project was started to develop through explanation to EVN, which is local power company about the effect of introducing of amorphous transformer. Developing this scheme realized standardization of amorphous procurement in Vietnam by producing transformers in Vietnam through importing amorphous ribbons, which is components of the amorphous transformer, from a Japanese company, and achieved lower price selling of products through local competitiveness. And this project succeeded of replicating of the JCM project due to standardization of amorphous procurement in Vietnam. By being selected as a JCM project several times, more than 10,000 amorphous transformers have been installed. And amorphous transformers have been designated as a top runner technology in Vietnam. And as a result of local production, the amorphous transformers are now being widely used even without subsidy in Vietnam. As the last chapter, I am going to explain key points for forming JCM project. This slide shows priority technologies of the JCM, and I picked up some technologies which match potential areas or technologies of Moldova based on local needs that we knew through discussion and studying on official documents. In this slide, I introduced potential technologies in Moldova. These information were taken from NDC and the Integrated National Energy Climate Plan toward 2030 in Moldova and IEA reports regarding Moldova. In Moldova, about 20% of energy demand is met through domestic production. However, other 80% of energy demand should be improved instead of import, and domestic production is almost entirely consisting of solid biomass. Moldova aims to promote renewable energy sources that operated based on environmentally friendly technologies such as solar power generation, wind facilities, and biomass heated facilities. Also, Moldova aims to the promotion of gradual transition from the use of traditional fuel sources to the use of biofuel, which evolves actively in this country. I would like to focus on each technologies after now. Regarding solar power generation, 87 megawatt has been installed as of July 2023, and total capacity is aimed to be 250 megawatt toward 2030. It means 135 megawatt should be installed until 2030. And regarding wind power generation, 141.3 megawatt has been installed by July 2023, and total capacity is aimed to be 600 megawatt toward 2030. So about 350 megawatt should be installed until 2030. Regarding the potential of each technology, I'd like to explain with using maps at the next slide. These maps are provided by World Bank, and as you can see the map on the left side, so solar radiation to develop solar power generation project is enough good. Compared to Middle East country, the potential seems lower. However, the condition is actually same as Vietnam, Thailand, and Indonesia, which has many solar power generation projects under the JCM. As you can see the map on the right side, the speed of develop wind power generation project has high potential. They have enough high-speed wind in this country to develop wind power generation. Regarding waste energy, 15.33 megawatt of biomass and biomass combined heat and power has been installed as of July 2023. And total capacity is aimed to be 78 megawatt. It indicates about 63 megawatt should be installed until 2030. Unlike other technology of the renewable energy, the biofuel has great potential for job creation in Moldova. As a fact, the approximately 100 biofuel companies has created over 300 new jobs. Regarding potential, a demonstration study has already conducted by Japanese Research Institute and a Japanese company in 2012. And regarding the potential of job creation, UNDP issued a research report regarding potential and benefits of utilization of biomass in Moldova, 2018, as you can see. And regarding energy-saving infrastructure area, we think district heating area has potential as Moldova aims to decrease the district heating losses from 90.2% in 2020 to 18.1% in 2030, and increasing share of renewable energy source in heating and cooling by 1.1% annually between 2025 and 2030. Also, improving the energy performance of buildings is a public policy priority in Moldova based on a government decision includes rule and regular inspection and air conditioning system in building. Please let me summarize this topic. In Moldova, promotion of energy efficiency and renewable sources are urgent priority of the energy sector in Moldova. To increasing rate of self-efficiency to reduce dependence on import of fossil fuel and electricity from other countries, and that includes energy strategy of the Republic of Moldova until 2030. Therefore, the JCM can support achieving this national target and plan in Moldova. In this slide, I share 3 factors to succeed to form JCM project based on our experience. The first factor is facilitating coexistence of local development needs, which improve well-being in Moldova. Which includes business feasibility and a certain amount of GHG reduction and consistency with NDC on project development. We regard local needs is one of the most important things to form JCM project to contribute partner countries' decarbonization. And the second thing is ensuring business robustness, which can expect return from investment, while securing revenue source such as project income based on power purchase agreement, as an example. And the third point is that securing financial arrangement, including loan with appropriate interest rates, such as project finance from local bank or international financial institution. Okay, this is the last slide. We appreciate if we could visit carbon market express website and OECC website as shown in this slide. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Toze, for your presentation. Thank you all the speakers for your presentations. Now we are moving on to the Q&A session. Mr. Takahashi will moderate again. Mr. Takahashi, please.
Okay, thank you. Now the floor is open for discussing about this section number 3. Participant in this room, if you have any question or comment, please raise your hand. And when you ask question, please first say your name and organization and who your question is for. Okay, all right, please.
May I have another question, please? Aurelia Chornei from the Ministry of Infrastructure and Regional Development. So thank you, first of all, for this session on case examples. It is extremely helpful, and it indeed helps us understand better what kind of projects we are talking about. So my question now goes to Mrs. Saori Iwasaki, who presented online a project, a Japanese-Indonesian project. And Mrs. Iwasaki said that the project was feasible due to the subsidy of the JCM. And my question now is, how much of the total cost of project, in percentage of course, was covered by the subsidy? And if the local authorities of Jakarta contributed financially to the implementation of this project? Thank you.
Ms. Iwasaki, is it okay for you to answer this question?
Okay, thank you for your question. Unfortunately, our budget or total cost is not opened officially, so I can't answer the total cost or something. I'm so sorry.
So I understand, and I really do not need figures or the total cost. But since you said that it was due to the subsidy that the project was feasible, how much of the total cost in percentage was covered by the subsidy? 80%, 70, 50%? And if the local authorities where the project was implemented in Jakarta have contributed to the cost of the project? Thank you.
I think that it's a company information, and she says that it's impossible to be open. So I appreciate you understand this. Thank you. So in the project JCM model project, the maximum percentage of subsidy is defined project by project, and maximum is 50%. And that's a maximum. So due to the project, it can be reduced because something like the energy efficiency criteria or something. So that means that the support percentage is decided project by project, and it's a company information. Sorry about that. Okay, Mr. Kiname. So the second question will be answered by Mr. Kiname about. Mr. Iwasaki, are you? Iwasaki-san. 岩崎さん、聞こえますか？
はい、聞こえます。
2番目の質問で、インドネシアの方から何か補助があったかということについては答えられますか？
はい。
大丈夫ですか？
Okay, I will answer the second question. If we have any kind of subsidy from Indonesia or Jakarta, I'm answering it. We did not receive any kind of subsidies or some support from Indonesia government or Jakarta. That is our answer.
Okay, thank you, Iwasaki-san. Is there any other question? Okay, please.
Hello, Delal Özvarış from Çalık Energy, Turkey. My question is to Wataru-san. Can we get more details about the function of joint committee? I know it's composed of government officials, but can we get more information about it? I mean, is there any deadline when we apply to the joint committee? How does it work? Is it fast, and can we get reply? Can we get their feedbacks shortly?
I think that it is the suitable person is Kiname-san, I guess.
Please let Mr. Kiname answer.
Okay.
Joint committee.
I mean, it's the function of joint committee. I mean, once we apply the joint committee, I want to understand the function of the committee in details. It's composed of government officials, so as you know, it's not always easy to reach them. So I want to understand whether it's easy to approach them, whether it's easy to get their feedback. I mean, how does it work? Is there a deadline for them to reply to our application?
Thank you for your question. It depends on what kind of, if you get some subsidies, maybe you'll communicate with some institutions which offer the subsidies, and you can prepare the necessary documents. And if once you prepare the necessary documents, you will submit to the joint committee, and then joint committee will process properly, and each process has a kind of like time deadline. So for example, if you submit the PIN to the secretary of the JC, the JC will do the completeness check in 7 calendar days, and then give you back the results. And then the JC will decide, or if you need to revise it a little bit, you should do the revisement to submit once again. And then once the necessary documents are ready, the JC will, when the JC is held, the JC will decide whether your proposal is admitted or registered. For example, the projects will be registered or not. So when you prepare when you want to propose some projects, please contact some of us, and we will explain more, like timeline or what you should do for now or something like that.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much for the valuable presentation. I'm Taku Wakita from JALC Energy, Istanbul. My question is a bit minor, but we are now considering the investment in Moldova. So we understand now the fiscal year 2024 third application opportunity is open. If we apply the JCM subsidy this third window, and then because of some reasons we voluntarily withdraw the application, and then can we apply completely same project, the same application the next fiscal year?
Okay, thank you for your question. And we assess the project when it is proposed. So once it is withdrawn, but there is a reason for the project to be implemented, and that when the time is appropriate, it could be possible for you to apply for it. It's depend on the reason when you withdraw or something. It could be related to that kind of thing. So if you have any such concern, we GEC will accept your question or consult with you. So feel free to ask us.
Thank you very much for answering. So, yeah, our concern is maturity of the project. So it's ongoing. So, yeah, as a result of conversation or assessment of authorities, if we judge that this is not matured for the approval of the authorities, so is it acceptable to postpone and withdraw and postpone? Can we understand that?
I think it's not postpone. The timing you apply the next one, second application. So the project should be concrete to finalize. So if there is some concern about finishing project, I advise you to wait until you are certain to execute the project. It's okay?
Thank you very much for advice.
Thank you. So, okay, please.
Здравствуйте. Прошу прощения, буду говорить по-русски. Такой вопрос.
One question.
Здравствуйте.
One question. We are the producer of power from renewable resources, and we have a photovoltaic park. Can we take part within this JCM project? And can we have some support from the part of Japan? Thank you. They are producers of photovoltaic park within, of course, a corporation, or to get other support from the part of Japan in this field. They are a park of photovoltaic park producer. They have a park. Park, yes. They have a photovoltaic park.
Photovoltaic park, you know? Okay, so the technology you would like to ask is that photovoltaic system could be applicable for JCM? That's correct? So in that case, it's okay to install photovoltaic system, and if it fits for JCM project, it is applicable. Is it?
The question was how this company, they would like to initiate this cooperation with Japanese similar company in renewable energy and PV, and they are looking for partners from Japan, and how they can initiate JCM project.
Thank you for the question. And we GEC provide the matchmaking system, and if you register that's what your company is or what you want to do, and it will be shared by the member registered in such a system. That name is JCM Global Match. And if the company has interest, Japanese company has interested in it, they can communicate with you, and if it match your requirement, it could. It's possible to form JCM project. Is it okay? Okay, thank you. And any other question from audience? Okay, thank you very much for this session, for your cooperation. So we'd like to finish this QSH. Thank you.
Once again, we would like to thank all the speakers for providing insightful information. Before we close this seminar, we would like to welcome Mr. Satoru Ino, Director, Office of International Carbon Market, Global Environment Bureau, Ministry of the Environment, Government of Japan. Mr. Ino, please.
Minasan, konnichiwa. Bunaziwa. Good morning. Good afternoon. My name is Satoru Ino. I'm a director of the Office for Joint Crediting Mechanism, JCM, and International Carbon Market, Ministry of the Environment, Japan. On behalf of Japanese Ministry of the Environment and Japanese government, I'd like to express my sincerest gratitude to Ministry of the Environment, Moldova, in particular, Mr. Sergio Lazarenko, and State Secretary Ms. Ariona Roznak. I also thank Global Environment Center Foundation, Embassy of Japan in Moldova, for co-hosting or supporting this important event, which remarks environmental cooperation between our two countries. I also would like to thank all the speakers for providing us with very thought-provoking and useful information, as well as for the powerful messages that will open up the possibilities for the JCM in Moldova. I also thank all the attendees who spend your time, precious time today for this seminar. A variety of questions and comments have surely contributed to interaction and deeper understanding. Yesterday, the first joint committee was held, as referred in the presentation, in Chisinau. The joint committee adopted rules and guidelines necessary to implement JCM so that we are on the starting line to proceed and operate JCM in Moldova. And today in this seminar, we shared fruitful insights and information. In the first session, we shared an overview of the JCM scheme. I believe that everyone was able to grasp at least its concept, steps, and outcomes it has already achieved. We also heard from Moldovan government about the effort, progress, and outlook on climate change countermeasures, which will be key components to consider how to utilize under JCM. In the next session, we have the opportunity to hear from 3 leading Japanese companies with excellent technological capabilities and promising technologies. One is biogasification using ethanol distillation residues. Another is installation of energy-saving equipment and solar power system. And the last one is biogas power generation and fuel conversion project. These advanced technologies can be adapted in Moldova to push for a decarbonization pathway while contributing to solving socio-economic challenges faced and realize healthier, more resilient and efficient lives and industries. Lastly, but not least, the government of Japan, Ministry of the Environment, Ministry of Economy, Technology and Industry, Trade and Industry, and relevant stakeholders will continue to work closely with government of Moldova, drawing on the experience we gained from today's seminar to prepare for the complete operationalization of the JCM. Next step is an action. We are sure in the near future, we will see concrete reduction and absorption projects under JCM being put into practice. For us, there would be nothing more rewarding than environmental cooperation between our 2 countries under JCM contributes to the achievement of NDC and sustainable development of Moldova. Thank you very much. Arigato. Mulțumesc. Thank you very much again. See you everyone again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ino, for your closing remarks. And many thanks again to all the speakers for the great presentations. We certainly hope it was insightful for all our attendants. If you have any questions that were not answered today, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are always available to answer your questions or provide guidance. We would also like to thank the Ministry of the Environment of Moldova and the Ministry of the Environment of Japan, as well as Overseas Environmental Cooperation Center, OECC, for co-organizing today's event. Zoom participants, please take a moment to answer the questionnaire that will appear on your web browser once you exit this seminar. It will help us in improving our next seminars. Thank you for your participation, and we look forward to seeing your projects soon. Have a good afternoon and good evening.